Hey, Western Heights friends and family. Have you ever had your identity stolen? Maybe it was someone went through your mail, or they went and got your credit card, or they went on your Facebook profile and ended up stealing that somehow. That feeling of just that vulnerability, that you have been violated, someone else coming in and doing that, that's a horrible feeling. And then you have to start the process of getting your identity back and getting back all the things that make you who you are according to the papers and according to the government or whatever it is. I'm not sure I've ever had my identity stolen. I've had a few issues along the path, but one thing I did experience is while I was in college, our house burned down, and in the house was my driver's license, among other things like birth certificate and a passport. And as we started the process to get a new driver's license, it was fine if I had a birth certificate or if I had the passport or any other way to prove who I was. And it became a difficult process for my mom and dad and myself, who were all trying to deal with this, to get our identity stuff back, to be able to prove who we really were. We knew who we were, but we had to prove it. Have you ever thought, if you had to prove that you're a Christian, how would you do it? How would you consider the proof of your following of Christ? Would it be in the church that you attend? Would it be in the rituals that you experience and that you go through on a weekly basis? Would it be in the knowledge that you have of Scripture? There's a passage in Scripture where Jesus is talking to his disciples, and he's telling them exactly how people are going to know that they are his followers. And he doesn't point to their theological correctness. He doesn't point them to the possibility of that they have done all the right things, that they are following in all the right ways. What he says is this, and this is in John 13, starting in verse 34, he says, "So now I'm going to give you a new commandment. Love each other just as I have loved you. You should love each other." But pay attention to verse 35. "Your love for one another will prove to the world that you are my disciples." That's the identity. That is the case. That is the understanding of how we prove to the world that we follow Christ. He says, your love for one another. Way too many Christians have missed this. We think it's in our theological correctness. We think it's in the church that we attend. We think it's in so many other things. And don't get me wrong, those things might be important, and we need to talk about those things. But if we don't have the basis of love, as Paul would say in 1 Corinthians 13, then we are just a banging gong or a clanging cymbal. We have nothing here if we don't have the basis of love. So there's a song that I knew growing up. I haven't sung it in ages. It's not really a song that we sing in church anymore, but it has this chorus, and they'll know we are Christians by our love, and they'll know we are Christians by our love. I'm still convinced that that is how people are going to know our identity. The way that we love one another. And not just the one another we know, it's the way that we love our neighbors, who may not be ones that we know. And it's the way that we love our enemies. And it's the way that we love our brothers and sisters. Our love to everyone will show this world whose we are. So love on. Love deeply, love strongly. And as this weekend approaches, may love be a guiding force in your life. I love you guys. Have a great weekend.